So we did our presentation on the Papa John's racial slur scandal. And just a little bit of an overview first. The founder and chairman of the pizza chain Papa John's, John Schnatter, found himself in hot water after using the N-word during a conference call in May of 2018. And that came from the Huffington Post. And then a similar article, but from CNN, stated that Schnatter resigned as CEO shortly thereafter. So the impacts of this crisis did cause him to resign from CEO. And again, from the Huffington Post, it states that Schnatter admitted to using the slur, and that Papa John's released another statement, this time quoting its founder, stating, "News reports attributing the use of inappropriate and hurtful language to me during a media training session regarding race are true. But regardless of the context, I apologize. Simply stated, racism has no place in our society." And so he did apologize for what he said. However, his impacts definitely lasted long thereafter. And then from The Guardian, it stated that on the May call, when asked how he would distance himself from racist groups, Schnatter reportedly complained that the KFC founder, Colonel Sanders, called blacks the N-word and never faced any public backlash. So he was trying to help his situation by stating that this happened with another large company. However, it did not turn out the way that he expected.
And then a little bit more overview. So from the Washington Times, they stated that ousted Papa John's founder John Schnatter claimed Tuesday the N-word scandal that led him to resign as head of his pizza franchise was fabricated by the company's board to remove him from leadership. So this is in the context of, he said that he was doing diversity training when this happened, and they twisted it to make him look bad. And then there were also reports that Schnatter created a toxic environment at the Papa John's headquarters. And Schnatter also claimed that people know he's not a racist, and so he ended up suing the company for not taking the proper time to investigate this situation. And in the wake of this scandal, sales dropped for the Papa John's company.
So the connections to class are when Schneider brought up a similar issue that happened with another company. He was using Benoit's theory of evading responsibility, which is basically, he just said he's not responsible and then gave his reasons why. And this was reducing the offensiveness of the event, specifically provocation and minimization. Another one was that Schneider eventually did use mortification and apologize for what he said during the training, but this was after multiple accounts of denying what he said, so he didn't really get the sympathy from the public that he was trying to get from his apology. He also used differentiation when he said, well, Mr. Schneider admitted to using the word, he said he used it in the context of diversity training and was quoting an unnamed famous individual to convey the danger of racism. So he was basically just trying to switch the context of the situation just to try to get a more positive outlook on it. And then lastly, while what Schneider said was inappropriate, his message had good intentions. During the diversity training, he just didn't deliver it the right way, and it came out very offensive, unfortunately.
So when we looked at how Schneider handled his situation, we saw that he tried to defend himself at first by saying that he used the N-word for diversity training purposes, and this take didn't really work for him. So he made the right choice and apologized to the people. And in Chapter 7 of Damage Control, Denzel says that apologies tend to work better when the behavior in question is seen as aberrant versus revelatory. And luckily, Schneider's behavior was seen as aberrant, so it was good. And his apology sounded sincere, and his apology was recognition and shows that he owned up to his mistake and that the action was taken. Therefore, a visible change was made in the company, which was good.
All right, so what could have been done differently? It would have been smart to get ahead of the media and have a statement already prepared. And there are people on the inside who he claimed that wanted to get rid of him. And he most likely did not know that this was going to happen. So just being prepared beforehand after you say it would have been key. He should have been more careful about what he chose to say during this diversity training. And Papa John's should have been more clear about the context of what was said by Schneider. And just to wrap it up, we picked this crisis in particular because of the large impact it had on Kentucky as a state and the Papa John's organization as a whole. And for example, the University of Louisville, their football stadium, was named Papa John's Cardinal Stadium. But after this incident, they got rid of the Papa John's and just renamed it to Cardinal Stadium because of the loss of support from the state and their local fans. And as you see, Schneider's mistake impacted more than just his job. It was a major crisis for Papa John's reputation as a corporation.
Here is a little list of our references as well.